to everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day, having a great week. Want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, grandfathers, uncles, and the like. Want to also send, even though it's Father's Day, send a shout out to single mothers who are doing the best they can. A lot of times, we celebrate you for Mother's Day, but there's a lot of mothers who don't have, a father figure for their children. So shout out to y'all too. But anyway, want to jump right into it. Again, I use the R.H. Boyd books. Got me a new shirt for the R.H. Boyd. And the title of the lesson is All Things Put Right. And it's coming out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verses 18 through 23. So I just want to hop into it. And again, be patient with me. I'm still working on getting my videos and editing to look really good. It's actually my second attempt because I was running out of space on my other phone. So I'm hoping that this works and I'm able to get it transferred. So anyway, like I said, we're in the book of Isaiah and we've been talking, and if you've been able to see the previous videos, you know that God is going to give restoration to his people and allow them to go back to their homeland. And restoration is a good thing. When you think about it, what the word restore means, it means to bring things back to its original condition, or maybe even better, from something. And the Israelites, they're captive. They're being held captive by the Babylonians. Now they're captive, being held prisoner and enslaved because they were disobedient, because they weren't following after God, and because we serve a just God. They had to, be punished for their disobedience and their sins and things like that. So the intro of the lesson starts out by saying, the challenge with any prophecy is to have faith it will be fulfilled. And as we know, God uses prophets to deliver messages to his people, to, his people's enemies. And, whether it's a good or a bad message, he sends them, he uses them. But in this prophecy, he's using Isaiah to tell the people that they're going to be freed and able to go back to their homeland, and they're going to be able to do it safely, without any issues, So if you think about today, when you get a prophecy or a promise, one of the challenges is to have faith, because part of the issue with the faith is your patience. You think about it, you say, oh, I got faith. But then when it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, it becomes very difficult to keep your faith. And, your challenge, it's a challenge. It is what it is. But what's great about this in particular, about with this prophecy and with this restoration, God is going to use the Persians to fight the Babylonians to bring along Judah's freedom to go back to their homeland. And that sounds awkward at first, but when you realize who God is and what he does and how he can use anybody and anything, because everything belongs to him, you say, okay, well, it makes sense. God can use the enemy of your enemy, to bless you, so to speak. So that's what's going on in this lesson. And again, like I said, God uses prophets to deliver the messages. So this is a time for celebration. It's a time for hope and for, celebration, because the prophecy is being given. So regardless of when it's going to happen, the message is that it's going to happen. The restoration is going to be there. So again, I'm not going to read every scripture. I'm going to leave that to you. I know a lot of people like different versions, but I like the New Revised Standard Version that's included in the lesson. I also like the King James Version as well. But verse 18 says, lift up your eyes all around and see, they all gather, they come to you. As I live, says the Lord. You shall put all of them on like an ornament, like a bride you shall bind them on. And I like that imagery there, the preparation, when you see a beautiful bride, she has the gown, the jewelry, and the bling, so to speak. And verse 19 says, surely your waste and your desolate places, your devastated land, surely now you will be too crowded for your inhabitants, and those who swallowed you up will be far away. So again, it's talking about going back to that land. Like I said, the celebration, to get yourself prepared, adorned, to go back to this land. Now, here's the thing about the land. when they get back to the land, when they get back to, Jerusalem and all that stuff has to be rebuilt, it's probably not in good condition. Matter of fact, it's not. It's a wasteland, because when they got captured by the Babylonians, a lot of that stuff got ransacked. If you look at any history, any empires, when they conquered lands, they didn't just, kill the people and enslave them. They also destroyed the land as well. They didn't just, occupy. They would bring people back to their place, but destroyed it. So it's a wasteland. So it needs to be rebuilt, and that's a lesson for another day. As you can see, Jerusalem is going to be rebuilt. The walls had to be, the city had to be rebuilt, redone, restored. As we've been saying. So this is going to be a great thing. But again, there's some more challenges there, because there's people who've been occupying the land, settlers, people who aren't native to that land, but they're there. So it says, however, as the people entered the land, they would find it too cramped for the new inhabitants. So if you think about it, if you've abandoned an empty space, and then the people who rightfully own that space come back, you're not going to want to move. You're also not going to want to fight either. So, you're coming back to your land that you need to restore, and then you're going to have a bunch of, settlers there. But it's okay. It's okay, because here's the thing. God's not going to promise you something and put you in a place that you're not going to be able to use, and then he's not going to provide for you. Right? So, and I, as I'm finding, I'm going to actually read these scriptures too. Verse 20 says, the children born in the time of your bereavement will yet say in your hearing, the place is too crowded for me. Make room for me to settle. Verse 21 says, then you will say in your heart, who has borne me these? I was bereaved and barren, exiled and put away. So who has reared these? I was left all alone. Where then have these come from? And again, this is talking about all the people who are now in this space, and they're saying, hey, we need our space. This is our land, so how do we all, get together? And again, so keep it in mind with the celebration, the good news that's here. One of the things I thought about is a family reunion. Now, admittedly, I have not been to a family reunion in many a year. I've been to, most of the ones that I went to was when I was little. But I can imagine that the celebration, that the anticipation at hearing this prophecy is really, really great, because the thing is, you get to go back to your homeland. My homeland is New Orleans, Louisiana, the dirty. So, and I would love to be able to go and do that, and I know Judah, they're saying, wow, there's people in the way, but God's going to provide for all of that. He's going to, take care of his people. So God says, Yahweh responded that he was to preach, talking to Isaiah, even though he might not live to see Judah's downfall, and and that he was the lessons also saying that none of the land was occupied by the poorest of people. But this is going to work. This is going to work out, for Judah, because what God's going to do is going to provide for all the people. Now, they may be, you may be thinking, well, wow, Israel, you all got captured, and now you're coming back wanting to kick the people out, and it may seem selfish at first, but understandably so. The space is going to be for everybody. It says, in this culture, a majority of the inhabitants would live within the walls of Jerusalem, but space would be at a premium. So that's understandable. And the people who would live outside would need the sanctuary of the walled city, a citadel of protection. Because if you have walls, you have protection, So it's not a selfish request. It's not a selfish, plea for them to want the space, for everybody coming back. Because again, if it's being restored, you want to have it restored. You want everything. You want your space. You want your livelihood. You want to be inside the walls. You want to be protected. So what happens is God is letting them know through the message that there's nothing to worry about. He's going to provide. And I think it was last week, or the week before that, God was saying that you'll be protected. Your path will be made clear. You won't have to have a hard travel back. You won't have to worry about food. You won't have to worry about resources or anything. Because remember, God is going to have the Persians defeat the Babylonians. Not only is he going to have them defeat them, the Persians are going to have mercy on the Judeans and on Judah and help them get back home. So not only is the enemy of the enemy defeating them and freeing Judah, but they're also providing for them and making sure they get back. How awesome is it that God is having, the enemy of the enemy take care of you to get you back home? Not the most, it's not the most common way to do it, but you have to remember God does whatever he does, whatever he sees fit to do. And I love how the lesson says that God is God of everything, God of everybody, whether they're worshiping him or not. It's a pagan, Persians are a pagan, country and everything, but God is using them as a tool to get Judah back home eventually. To wrap it up, God promised to deliver his people from Babylonian captivity, just as he emancipated Israel from the slavery visited upon them by the Egyptians. Because remember, Israel's always getting in trouble with different things. So God provides for his children even when they deserve judgment and punishment. God raises up servants to do his will. This is no less true today as it was in the days of yesteryear. So if I had to bring it forward for us, I would say basically, stay out of trouble. Let's be obedient to God and follow after his way. But understand too that God's promises are always going to hold fast. When he tells us something, you can believe it, but you do have to have faith. And your faith means that you have to be patient as well. So make sure you're doing that. Just wait on the Lord. Just wait on the Lord. Listen, that's my time. I hope everyone has a great Father's Day holiday, a great Juneteenth holiday as well. And like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. Let me know how I can improve it. Again, like Archboard, I got this shirt. I love this shirt. I got two shirts actually. And if you're in Statesboro, Bullock County, come on down and visit us at United Fellowship Worship Center, where Pastor Brock Taylor is the pastor. Listen, if you're in Jacksonville, Florida, in Jacksonville Beach, go down to First Missionary Baptist, where Pastor Marvin Alexander McQueen II is pastor down there. Great church, great people. It's where God brings faith, family, and first down there. And also, going to be doing some more posting, maybe having a guest speaker at some point in time for Know Me for Youth, the nonprofit that I support in Shreveport, Louisiana. So listen, y'all take care. Love you. Be good. Be safe.